Hi, my name is Kate and welcome to the channel Conscious Parenting. Today my guest is Monica Shiakou, and Monica is Associate Professor of Psychology in European University of Cyprus. She also a practitioner, a child psychotherapist, and holds a lot of publications in the area of play, bullying and attachment. So welcome, Monica.
Hi, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, you were saying that for you as a practitioner, both the victim and the bully are victims of the situation and the environment. If by any chance that happens, that a family, the parents, they have a child who is bullying other kids, so what would be your approach to that?
Well, if I'm lucky and they actually accept it.
Yeah.
Because usually when, unfortunately, their parents are finding it very hard to accept that their child is the bully, okay? So at least in 90% of the times, the parents are accepting absolutely no blame, okay? They are acting against the school and against the therapist that's being put in charge, and they're threatening and suing and whatnot that their child is not the bully and has done nothing wrong. When you actually see this behavior, you actually understand, okay, there you go, this is where this child is coming from, okay? So poor little boy, poor little girl, if, I understand as a mom that when my child is being threatened, I will step up and become a lion. I get that, okay? But after a certain time, I will have to reassess and see what's going on. But in very few circumstances do the parents of kids who are bullying will actually accept the blame. And it's not a coincidence that we have kids coming from this kind of families and they're bullied. But nevertheless, when the family is willing to work with you, that kid needs to be in therapy. So there is not a magic wand that kid needs to be in therapy and we need to work their internal world and their feelings and what's happening and whatnot. And then we need to give that child new social skills that are more acceptable in society and in the schooling system. So basically this is what therapy and play therapy, which is one of the methods that I use to work with children. We need to give them new, more acceptable ways of behaving. But first we need to understand why, what is happening.
As a part of this would be caused, I guess, and rooted in the family dynamic, let's say. So what me as a parent, for example, if I find myself in the situation when, okay, something is wrong and my child looks like he or she behaves in a way that is not really acceptable, what would be my first steps as a parent towards myself?
Well, first of all, I think that, we're all off sometimes as parents, and parenthood is one of the most difficult things that a human being is called to do, okay? So we can't get it right, we probably missed something along the way and whatnot. As a parent, what I always say to parents, there's people and places you can go to get help, We are not alone anymore, and there's other people dealing with the same issues, and you can go and get help. You know what? If your child, for example, was having a sore throat and a bad cough, would you just sit there and start, thinking, how am I going to solve this, or would you go to the doctor and tell you what's going on? So, and we're not saying that you should go to a therapist with just like that, but I'm saying that if the school has called you numerous times and has said that time and time again, your child is getting in trouble, your child is not listening, your child is not cooperating, your child is, harming other children, and you've tried with the ways that you see fit and they're not working, then you should go and see someone. And there's lots of reasons why your child will be behaving like this. Probably as a parent you have a role in this as well, okay? But I tell you what, look, I mean, most parents, when they hear that another child has hit their child, the first inclination is hit him back, to not allow anyone to hit him. Okay? So that's the first inclination, because that's the way they think that. But this is wrong. You know, this is not, because we shouldn't actually encourage the circle of violence or an eye for an eye. Now, there's things that you can do when someone hits you without hitting back. And then a Cypriot parent, for example, will say, well, and my son will be the one that's been hit, and no, I'd rather he hits. You know? And then we get this toxic masculinity that is being, and then you try to say this to them, but they're very defensive. They say, no, if he gets hit, he hits. But then a child, of 5 and 4 or 6 can't actually distinguish when they should and when they shouldn't. Because if you accept violence, and if a parent encourages violence, for whatever reason, then the child will actually get this and use it across the board. Now, where a child can actually hit back is when a child is being in a corner, is being hit, is being pushed, and then yes, you can defend yourself. But if someone comes now and kicks me, I'm not going to go running back and kick. I'm going to go talk to the teacher, I'm going to go report it, I'm actually going to use words, and there's a lot of steps. So you show this child that there's other ways of resolving violence. But this is the, and when I actually say this to parents, they say, but you're leaving your kid unprotected. And I say, no, I am not leaving my kid or the kids that I'm paying to help. I'm not leaving them unprotected. I am actually giving them skills that they can resolve their issues and their conflicts outside of the jungle, in a civilized, because a very small child, but even an older child, cannot actually identify when is it really, really, really necessary for me to be violent, and it's very rarely is it necessary. Only when you need to defend yourself.